Originating in Asia, bamboos have now gone all over the world in areas that just aren't slightly too cold. I'm from Canada, as you guys know, and the only bamboos that we can get up near us are ones that'll stay really small that kind of die back in the winter. Or in certain areas of Canada, like in Vancouver, British Columbia, or near the Toronto area, where it's a little bit warmer, they can grow bamboo year-round in kind of like zone 5. But where I live, we don't get to grow any bamboo, and as much I love them, they're beautiful plants. They make beautiful screens, but they're a horribly invasive plant. They're very destructive to natural things. But on the fish side, we can do some pretty cool stuff with bamboo. Most people don't know, but bamboo is actually more of a grass than anything else. But these nodules, the way the bamboo grows, and you get these individual nodules, here's one here that's dead. You can hear it, it's hollow, it's cracked. I would cut this one down, and it's got to be all of 40 feet tall. I would cut this one down, and then with a bandsaw, I would cut it just after the node, and then leave an opening, and just after the node, leave an opening, and just after the node, leave an opening. And these make beautiful, natural, they'll last a long time, natural Pleco caves for breeding Plecos in your home aquariums. And they're all around us for the taking. Here's those nodules and stuff. You see each section of growth, they get these little nods. That's what gives them strength. Perfect Pleco caves. See? The live ones don't make any sound. They're hard, they're dense, they're full of fibers. But the dead ones? Ooh, we can do some magical things with those. I said 40 plus feet. As you can see, these aren't short plants. They reach way up into the sky, and all the new growth is always at the top. There's hundreds and hundreds of species of bamboo, and they grow to varying lengths. I remember when I was in Colombia, the native name for bamboo was guadua, and we went around everywhere and you saw many different types of guadua. And the only thing that was really scary about it is in the forest, when guadua grows, is it grows about a foot a day. Now I guess the diameter of, what do you call it, stem or trunk or whatever it is, but they were anywhere between 6 to 8 inches in diameter. It was a very heavy bamboo, big bamboo, very tropical, and obviously in Colombia, South America. But the scary thing is, because it grows a foot a day, when it emerges from the ground, you literally get a sharp spike punch out through the earth crust, and it just appears. I can't even imagine what that would be like if you were just walking in the forest and all of a sudden this thing just emerged while you were walking. It'd be pretty creepy. There's another species of bamboo. This one doesn't get quite as big. Seems to grow a lot more dense. And the new growth, the growth of the leaves, or whatever they call it, they're much lower on the plant. Now these ones might be a bit more of a challenge, but I can see there's one there. Let's go take a look at that one there in the middle that's dead and see what the diameter of it looks like close up. Yeah, it's nice and ready. Now in tropical countries all over the world, bamboo is so prevalent that they actually use it more like we use our softwood lumbers for construction. And bamboo, because of the way it grows and how it's fibrous compared to different than wood, is actually far stronger than most woods. To just give you an example, this is that dead bamboo piece that I was showing you guys. I thought I'd bend it down and maybe take a picture of it and show you guys what it looks like. But it's not forgiving. It's not moving whatsoever. This is about a 12 or 15 foot piece, and it's bending right down. It's not breaking at all. Well, there we go. We can break it down finally, but I don't know if you can see inside there. Perfect little structures for breeding fish. Even after all that, and I thought I'd cracked it, I didn't. It was just something in the woods making noise. It's right back in its full position like nothing happened. So it takes a long time for, once bamboo grows and then dies, it takes a long time for it to actually fall down. So here's the result of those bamboos. We had to cut them down because I tried bending them over and it wasn't working at all. They just had too much strength. But you see how they're made? They're hollow on the inside. They're completely hollow on the inside except for where their joints are. Where I call it the knuckle. I don't know if that's the right term or not, but I call it the knuckle, whatever. Big's gonna call it a knuckle, it's a knuckle. But it's basically a large grass. So I just ran them through the bandsaw. I cut it down with a chainsaw first because it wasn't going to break on its own. It would have needed more than I could have done. But we used a chainsaw to cut it down, and then we basically just ran them through the bandsaw just after the knuckle, like I mentioned. And then I opened up, so I've got a nice open tube with a back. Perfect Pleco Caves. And because the tree it starts off thicker at the base, the ones at the bottom are a little bit bigger base. Then as you get closer to the top, they get decidedly thinner. Same thing. And you can cut them whatever size you want. Because they're nice and natural, what I can do then is I can take a bunch of these. You could silicone them together, you could attach it to a slate, you could do whatever you want, because it'll take a little bit for them to become waterlogged and sink naturally on their own. But, hey, lots of uses. You can think Plecos, glue a bunch of them together, glue it to a rock, let it sink into the tank. You got some Pleco hotels, right? And you can do, out of that one piece, I got a lot more than I'm showing here. A lot more, out of one piece. But the other cool thing is, what if you're breeding African cichlids like Tropheus or something, and they're super, super hyper aggressive? Well, the cool thing you can do with them is, because this stuff is gonna float for a long time, let's cut a bunch of pipes, cut the knuckle off the end, and just let these float around in your tank. Nice little shelter. It's very similar to that Zoomed log that came out a while back that has an anchor, has a weighted bottom, and it floats on the top, so you can always see it positioned in the tank. Same sort of idea, natural, found in a lot of people's yards. And if you don't have bamboo growing naturally in your yard or naturalized in your yard, you can go to a garden center and buy this as an 8 or 10 or 12 foot piece and stuff like that, and just cut it yourself fairly economically. But I think that's pretty cool. Found something just in the yard, in my travels, something make natural hides, natural breeding structure. Now the other really cool thing about it for Plecos particularly, if you guys remember when we did the interview with Andreas Tanke, Andreas does not like using Pleco Caves, like the ceramic style Pleco Caves, for the genera of fish that he tends to specialize, which is called Panoculus. Panoculus are very devout cellulose feeders, meaning they're xylophages and they need to eat a lot of wood. Now wood is basically providing cellulose. Cellulose. This isn't wood, this is a grass. But the benefit, what he did is he took his pieces of driftwood and bored big holes into the driftwood, and that provided the shelters for the different plecos and stuff to use. But the big important benefit is that when the dad is tending the eggs, the dad doesn't have to leave to feed. The dad can just rasp inside the hide because it's natural, it's wood, and he's getting that cellulose that he needs in his diets. Same sort of thing. Same thing you can do here. Also, when the babies hatch and the babies start getting their first feeding, they can come and they can feed inside this as well, and they get that cellulose, and they also get that little biofilm and cover and stuff like that. All the nutrition they're going to need, 100% natural, found inside this.